In this episode, we're going to be discussing how to use Ebscohost effectively. Well, thank you for joining me for this episode, and I am Jeff Griffin. I'm one of several of your librarians at the main campus, and we want you to be able to use these tremendous resources, and Ebscohost is one of the best. It's just an umbrella for about 60 plus databases that you can search all at one time. But first of all, how do you find the databases? Well, you go to the seminary's main web page. At the very top there, Academics and Admissions. If you click there, you will see next to the far right column, it's Academic Services, and of course, well, Libraries and the Writing Center is right there in the middle of all that. Two great resources for you. And when you click on Libraries in particular, you're going to then have a list of several of the resources, the online catalog, ebooks, e-journals, and dissertations. Well, in this episode, we're going to be focusing on that third element there. And you know, our Labrador there, he doesn't look real excited, but in just a minute, he's going to be real excited because he's going to know how to use these particular resources and use them well. But even to get to the databases, you've got to have the handout for the passcodes, right? So if you will email us at library@nobts.edu, we can get those sent out to you promptly. Okay, just send us your student ID and we'll send you the passkeys. Well, first of all, when you go to Ebscohost, you sign in. Depending on if you are on campus or if you're just using your own private network, you may or may not see this screen. If you do, obviously click on it, and then it will take you to this second screen where there you need to select which databases you're going to use. Normally, I just select all. Occasionally, the traffic is so heavy, I have to go back and just select the philosophy and religion databases. But in any event, you just click there and it's going to immediately take you to this screen. Okay, that's step number 3. Yeah, this dog here, he wants to learn to use these a lot better, and I know you do too. So how do we use Ebscohost effectively? Well, here I just put in prayer as a search term, and when I start typing again, you can see prayer in schools, prayer spirituality, prayer in healing, stress, mental health during chemotherapy. You will see a lot of drop downs. Those may or may not be helpful. You don't have to select any of them, obviously. But once you hit search, you'll see this screen here. And this particular entry, God, Gallup, and the Episcopalians. Well, apparently this student thought that's the article I need. Maybe she's Episcopalian, I don't know. But in any event, notice that this top line, the title of the article, is in blue. Anytime in Ebscohost when something is in blue font, you know that is a hyperlink. So if you click on that, it's going to go somewhere else. So if you do click on that, what do you see? Well, you see this. And notice the subject headings. The author is in blue. So if you find this author really writes well on this topic, I'd like to see what else he or she may have written. We'll just click on the blue hyperlink for that particular author. Also, if there is a particular subject heading that you go, I would have never thought to type that in the search box, but one of those is exactly the subject of my paper or my project. Well, if you'll click on that hyperlink, it'll pull up every article tagged to that particular subject matter. So that can be really helpful. But most of all, maybe the best part of Ebsco is the full text. So anytime you see this PDF logo, that is something you can download, save to your computer to read later, mark up, whatever you need. Now, every now and then, an error message pops up. And again, this overwhelmingly is because there's so much traffic on Ebscohost. We get ours through the LSU system, our subscription. That's okay. Sometimes you just have to go out of that particular browser window, come back in. It's no big deal, and it'll work the way it needs to, right? So quickly, quiz time, right? You're always used to pop quizzes in seminary. Well, so what is the way to contact the library to get the passkeys for the databases? Well, again, it's just nobts.edu, right? So there you have it again, library.nobts.edu. But there's more to these databases than simply doing a basic search, right? These databases are very powerful, and if you know these icons of interest, they'll make you smile like this guy, maybe even that big. So where do you find these icons of interest? They are on the right-hand side of your screen. So here is just a screenshot. I want to step through just a few of these. The first one is you can email yourself, and even the PDF. Sorry about that. And because look, you may not have time to read all these things, but you can click different ones, email them to yourselves, come back this afternoon or tonight and do additional research, but at least your basic search and your PDFs will be there waiting for you in your email. Now know this, that a lot of these PDFs, when you email them to yourself, they're only active for 3 days. So within 3 days, download them and then you'll be good to go, all right? How about another icon of interest? Well, don't you just hate having to type in the footnotes and the bibliography? Well, go to the CITE, C-I-T-E format, and you can scroll through a number of different formatting styles. Here I've scrolled down to the Chicago Turabian. All you got to do is cut and paste. Why type all that in when you can cut and paste? Work smarter, not harder. I mean, even Einstein knows this is a good idea, right? Okay. But there's one other aspect, especially in theological education. It's how do I look up scripture references in Ebscohost? Well, there is a special feature for that, and up at the very top of your screen on Ebscohost, there's a blue horizontal bar. The word scripture may or may not appear on your bar, and that'll be for many of you using a laptop because your screen's smaller. But there, at the end of that blue bar will be 3 dots. If you'll click on that, the bar will continue to fill out. But in any event, you'll see scriptures. If you click on that, it's going to bring you to this page. Notice all the text is in blue, right? And I've told you, if it's in blue, it's hyperlinked to something else. So if you click on Genesis and then expand, it will then list all 50 chapters, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's say your paper is on, I don't know, Genesis 16, where Hagar is met by the angel of the Lord. Well, so you can just go down to Genesis, expand 16, and even if there is a verse in particular you want to look at, well, then you can expand on that chapter and there will be a number for every verse in that particular chapter. When you click on that, it will immediately jump directly to all the articles that are cataloged to that specific biblical book and chapter and verse. Okay, forgive the phone call there. Next, let's look at the left-hand side of the database interface. So again, all those icons of interest are on the right. On the left-hand side are ways you can limit your results. Very exciting, right? She looks exciting. So look to the limits. Why do we want limits on our search results? Because there are millions of journal articles, hundreds of thousands of full text, and you've somehow got to reduce that down to something manageable, right? So are you looking for book reviews? Are you looking for ebooks? Are you looking for items published in the last 20 years, last 10 years? All of these things you can limit to whittle down your results, right? That's most helpful. And one of the things you can look to are the ebooks. Yes, we have right around 200,000 ebooks. Some of the best publishers. Yeah, they've got full text. You can click here, drop down the table of contents. It looks a lot like Amazon or other such websites, but some of the best publishers, well, all the best publishers, Brill, lots of good things here. Look here, scribal habits in early Greek New Testament papyri. Yeah, see, it even impressed that guy. Wow. So a lot of depth here, a lot of great resources, and all you got to do to get access is to email us at library, and your librarians at New Orleans Baptist Seminary are delighted to help you. Well, this is just a brief overview of using Ebscohost effectively. We'll see you in another video soon. Thanks now.